And welcome back.
We talk over resetting the timer.
Not that one. That one. There we go. Okay. We talk over Monster Hunter World. Hunting a...
Tempered Teostra, folks.
Teostra. I was going to say Teodora, knowing that was incorrect.
But the thing that kind of sucks is I already threw on my immunity mantle thinking I was going to start the fight with him. And then he was like, let me relocate and waste a precious minute or two of your or your immunity mantle. Because he's a dick.
So...
Get him in the face.
I wanted to share that... So we now know... Man, he's just like a fire lion.
Yeah.
With wings.
With wings. He's he's a manticore, right? Like that's like a...
That's close to a manticore. I was going to say, it's not a chimera.
Nope.
That's multiple things missing from there.
Yeah, like the dragon and the goat head usually you see on those, right?
Well, okay, so there is the triple head chimera, but then there's the other chimera that doesn't have those things, but that has the goat body and the serpent tail.
Oh, right, yeah.
So...
Because that chimera just means something that's made of multiple things, right?
Right, but I've seen both versions. The ones that have the 3 heads, I've seen that as well. But the heads are weird because they're not next to each other like they are on Cerberus. They go down the back. The lion head is up front, but then behind that's the goat, and behind that's the dragon. So I've seen some drawings that were like that. Well, anyway,
you've seen some things.
In the last episode, we learned that pocket pussies will get you pulled over in TSA.
Oh, Lordy.
A story I heard from someone. So, so that segues into Japan very well. So, there's an image that may or may not be up on your screen right now.
What did he do to me? Why did I get staggered?
And if it's up on your screen, it is heavily censored. I had to go through there with my blur tool all over the place. But I couldn't just blur out the whole thing because I needed to show that, whether by zooming in or whatever, that there are...
We're going to risk it. We're just going to go in and hit him.
Many...
Oh, my cloak ran out. This is a terrible plan.
And you got beat.
And I got hit by that tail. Get that cloak, get that cloak.
So I was in a department store. A la Walmart, Sears, whatever, but it was one.
I don't want to be here. Parents.
It was one called Don Quixote, which had an annoyingly repetitive jingle that I remember and could jingle for you, but I won't. But they had music playing throughout the store, but at the entrance they had a very loud jingle that was just women singing.
Don Quixote?
Well, no, it was Don Quixote.
Oh,
but it was in a lady voice,
Uh-huh.
and they just kept doing it. I mean, it was a lady choir, I guess. It was a few of them. And they just kept going. It would just keep cycling. So the people that work there, holy fuck. But,
You felt so bad for them?
I mean, I worked at fucking GameStop. I had to listen to that shit rotate every 30 minutes. 40 minutes, whatever it was. And what sucked is that half of it was all fucking ABC sponsored, and so I had to listen to dumbass fucking Big Bang Theory nonsense. Them kept trying to show the funny parts of the show that still aren't funny, and just made me hate the show more that I haven't even watched yet.
No!
But anyway, in a department store, multi-floor, because that's how a lot of things are over there. This was a 5-floor department store. The top floor was full of video games, used cards for card games there, because they have a lot of them. Full height, 8-foot display cases of these cards, and figures. I was in fucking heaven. Because they had a bunch of new figures, and they had a bunch of used figures that were really cheap, but still were complete. They were in the box, they had everything. I was happy. We'll have to talk about figures one time. I still haven't figured out how much I spent.
Not again.
So I spent there, and then I also spent in Akihabara. This place was just walking distance from the hotel. So, in this store, I think the 3rd floor, they had a whole bunch of novelty things. They had a toy section, and next to that was the costume section, and next to that was the sex toy section. So in an aisle that had kids' costumes, if you looked on the left, there was an area separated both from the main aisle and from this kid's costumes aisle by just a cloth curtain that was pulled back. So you could look right in there. All the sex toys are right there.
Nice.
They don't care. They go, like, the things that you would put a black bar in front of.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't, that's just full-on display in Japan. Everywhere. Even outside of stores, just, like, taped up onto the walls are these things that would be considered excessively sexual. Maybe not nude, but just very sexual in the States. And they just don't care there. So I walk in there, and then I ended up showing some friends this later. I was like, look, I bring them down the kids' costumes aisle, and then I turn them around and let their eyes adjust to what they're seeing. Oh wow!
I didn't see him charging that move up. That's oh!
Your rewards were decreased.
My rewards. Now I need to grab more buff potions. Fuck my life in half. All right, you know what? We're just gonna do this though.
So when we walked in there, they had multiple shelves about 5 feet wide of just different pocket pussies. And on most of the boxes were anime chicks. Not even real porn stars or cute faces. Their pocket pussies wanted to elicit the thought and feeling of fucking an anime chick. A hentai chick.
I think
whatever.
They know their target audience.
I mean, Asuka from Evangelion was there right next to Rey. You had a whole bunch of anime characters in there. And right next to the kids' costumes. It was incredibly funny. So, Japan just has a wildly different culture.
Yeah.
They had, if I could find this picture, I'll put it up. They had a store that said women were not allowed on the 3rd and 4th floors.
Interesting.
Now, we ended up seeing some teenage-looking girls go into one of them anyway, but the 3rd and 4th floors, they were just guys' toys. I mean, here, if you go to an adult store, all that stuff's out together.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm restricted from seeing dildos.
Right.
And it's not like they're restricted from seeing pocket pussies and all of the other things in between. But they just, for some reason, said women aren't allowed there. And I'm not sure why. And I guess it's so that the guys have more privacy in what they're buying, so they don't have to feel embarrassed by having women see them buy these things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it probably is, yeah.
The thing is, though, in Japan, and this is something that's going to be very hard to describe and take a long time, people keep to themselves. So it's not like they had that to worry about anyway. Get your triple buff. Call it back. You had orange in the bug.
I didn't need it. I don't need it.
So I'm going to try to describe the whole keeping to themselves thing and paying attention to themselves and not judging, but it's going to be where I have to describe these little cases that happened. So first off, the fact that you are a Caucasian in Japan, they do not give a fuck at all. 1, because they've seen it all the time. 2, because what the fuck makes you special? So they just, the fact that I was there, it didn't matter to anyone.
You were in Tokyo, though, right?
I was in, no, I was in, Fujisawa was where I was staying, and then going to Akihabara, which is pretty much Tokyo.
Yeah.
But no, Fujisawa is where I was staying, and that's pretty far away, I think, to the southwest of it. Not pretty far away. Cool little neat thing. From my hotel room that I stayed at in Fujisawa, I could see half of Mount Fuji.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was amazing. I didn't even notice it until the second time I was staying there. Got the same room. It was up on the 9th floor. But I could half of it was obstructed by a tall building, but I could see half of the fucking mountain. That was awesome. But when you're walking by people in the streets, I used to think, okay, maybe they just don't like us or something, and maybe they just don't like foreigners, which is kind of a thing in their culture. They don't really care to give people rights to live there because they intentionally don't want to, and so on. But maybe it extended into they just want to, keep to their own culture type stuff. But then I noticed that it's not like there's anything to take offense to. 1, I don't know what taking offense means, but 2, they did that to themselves. They didn't pay attention to each other. They didn't make eye contact. So what would happen is that if you were walking along the street and someone else was coming up, they would make eye contact further away. If they weren't just staring at the street the whole time, they would make eye contact further away than what would make sense to communicate at. And then once they started to get closer, they would take their eye contact away. So there was no engaging in conversation
this dick
with
bomb.
them.
Mother lover.
That hurts you. But you're still taking less damage than I was taking from weaker things. So it seems like, I mean, again,
So
you didn't stream, so you just put time into building your armor up and stuff. So
Yeah, I also had the mantle on, which
Yeah.
helps the fireproof mantle, so it reduces the fire damage. And then like, I need to be able to like. The problem is he did that again. Like he waited until I go into attack, and then he's like, "Oh, let me start my fucking ult now." It's like, you son of a bitch. Because like, if I'm,
I thought they did that on purpose, and it's understandable to think that they do. It's not like it's impossible for them to program that in.
No.
They do.
I absolutely think that there is some sort of detector for like when you're doing stuff, and the monster goes like, "All right, I'm gonna interrupt this shit."
And to me, in a game like this, not necessarily all games, but in a game like this, I feel like that's fair because a lot of times, you base what you are going to do based on what they're doing.
Yeah.
Why can't they do the same to you?
And it gives them it doesn't feel like they're cheating. It just makes them feel smart, which is, I think, that's a fun challenge to me.
Smart and tough is fine. It's to the point where it feels like cheating. That's just okay.
Oh shit!
So I would always. It seems like you.
I'm not gonna catch him.
I've only noticed twice so far.
Better. I don't need to catch him. Go ahead.
You leave the healing animation going, but for me, I always notice that you can just roll out of it or attack out of it once you're actually done healing.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you knew that just in case.
Boom. Take it.
That is a badass bug that just causes an entire fucking crystal spike spire to fall.
Bug hits like a truck.
I noticed that your numbers aren't very high.
So it depends where I'm hitting, right? Like that's the problem with these Devil Joe weapons. So like, and using weakness exploit. So like the Devil Joe weapons have this negative 25% affinity, which means like 25% of the time you're going to get what they call a feeble hit, which is going to be lower in damage.
Okay.
But if you,
I mean, the highest I've seen is in the 40s. I think I might have seen
so
some 70.
here, let's see if I can get him in the. Boom, 88. That was without the buffs too for some reason. I've had like against the Azure Athlos, even I had 156 hit. Let's see what this one gets. Bam, it's 96.
I definitely haven't been trying to pay attention to all the numbers or anything, but it just seems like the numbers aren't much more than what I'm doing, but at the same time, maybe they don't need to be.
So, there he goes down again. It's not bad some more. So, like, the big one you're going for is that tornado slash, right? That's where the big hit comes. And, like, if I was in the white, they'd be hitting a bit harder. And here, let's see if we can test this.
Science!
I got the orange now. So, let's see here. If I can get him in the face and not bounce off his goddamn hide, which I am, and my mantle wore off, which is not good, so I need to sharpen, and I need to get my immunity mantle up. It's not up. I am going to...
Wait.
I'm going to just get fucking run over, because this guy's a dick butt. Alright, let's drink. Perfect.
Alright, you stay laying down there. I'm just gonna...
Don't mind me. Bam.
69.
Oh, fuck me. Missed.
You needed that third hit. That's what you were measuring.
That's what I was measuring. That was the hit. That was what we're comparing the 96 against. And of course, he's like, let me just dodge that shit.
69.
Is my... Oh, it is up. Good. Give me that on. This mantle makes me immune to, like, getting stunned and being on fire, and generally just all around awesome.
That's good.
Is he flying again? He's trying. Get back down here.
You are a mean fucker. He's just trying to retreat.
I know. You can stay. Bam! Damn it! That wasn't his head. Or I deal less damage with all three. But I'm guessing that was not his head. But I am going to heal up because I don't want to get one
Kind of
shot.
looked like his neck. I don't know if they distinguished.
Oh, shit. I need to get my buffs back. And I need to make another flash pod and equip it.
Alright, so while you're still sciencing, I guess I'll continue to talk about Japan.
Yeah, keep talking about Japan while I'm sciencing.
the numbers. Yeah, wait for the next time he vacates. So let him vacate.
I'll let him vacate then.
All right, so we're continuing next time, but for now we are done talking.
Bye bye.